Hi, this is Rachel Ghiazza, and you're listening to In Her Words.
I'm going to ask you a harder question. Um, if you look back on your career or you look back on a project, was there a pinpoint or a challenge that you faced that you go back and you're like, this is what I want people to learn from me? Like, if I could tell you one kind of like nightmare example that I went through, just because our audience is obviously, women and men and, that are coming up in the industry. And one of the things that we like to talk about, I think at our summit, which you experienced and so forth, is we love to help them avoid those types of situations. Is there something that you ran into or like a story that you're like, I think about it every day and I will not make that mistake again?
Fear.
Mm.
So things happen and they seem scary,
Yeah.
right? You think about, some of the layoffs that are happening right now. That seems really scary, and it is,
Yeah.
right? So it's not scary. Sometimes we stay in jobs longer than we should because we're scared. Um, it's never as bad as it seems, right? That's
Yeah.
the thing that I've learned is sometimes you just have to know your worth, appreciate what you can do, and leverage that forward. And one of the things that will help you do that best is to remind yourself that you're part of a bigger community. You have the network of people that you've
Yeah.
always worked with, you have the network of people that you've grown up with. Some of my colleagues at Yahoo have done just incredible things. We're all still connected. You're not alone. You're
Yeah.
part of a community, and that hopefully can make some things less scary.
Yeah.
If you're in a situation at work that just isn't bringing you enough joy, if you end up being laid off and that's super scary, and maybe you're feeling a little bad about that, um, you're not alone. You're part of a
Yeah.
community, and it's not as scary as you think.
Is there a moment that you let the fear go? That you were like, I'm worth this, and this is the moment that I'm stepping up and
Yeah, I've definitely had those moments, and um just terrifying, right? Like,
yeah.
you know, can't sleep at night, wondering if I did the right thing, but you just have to take the gusto. You have to listen to yourself. You have to think about the balance in your life. You only get one.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you have enough joy in it. There has to be enough joy. And if that you don't have, you have to figure out how to do something different to get it. A good friend of mine wrote a book called Tickled. If you haven't, if you're looking for like a path, just what tickles you. Find out what tickles you, and it doesn't necessarily have to be your profession.
That's a great
Yeah.
title to a book.
I love that.
He used to write business books about like what companies do right and wrong, and then he was like, "This doesn't give me joy." And then wrote this title Tickled. And like it's about finding what makes you happy. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be your career, but you want to make sure your life has enough of that in it and that you have the right balance. If you're working too hard and the job gives you joy, that's fine. But if you're working really hard and your job doesn't give you joy and you don't have that in your personal life, that's not a life to live, especially not if you're doing it for fear. And a lot of people come from different backgrounds. I did not come from a privileged background. I paid my way through undergrad. I paid my way through grad school. My parents do not help me. I sometimes help my parents. So, like, we all have different experiences,
Yeah.
but you have to look out for you first.
Oh, that's great advice.